Over the weekend, I was watching this great documentary about Sergio Leone, which is on Max, and really enjoyed it. Sergio Leone, one of my favorite directors, and such an influence on directors like Steven Spielberg and Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. And Kino Lorber has the Dollars trilogy, which is a fistful of dollars here too. And for a few dollars more, these are not in order, I don't think, because this is the last one. There's a lot of glare here, but and then of course the classic, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which I have on 4K. And I just love these films, and it was such a great documentary to see, just to get an overview of his career and his personality, and lots of discussion from his family members. But if you haven't seen the Sergio Leone documentary on Max, I highly recommend it. It's just great to see him talk about his films, and other people talk about his films. They talk about the labor of love that it was to make Once Upon a Time in America, which took him, I think, about 15 years to make. I still need to get a copy of that film, but anyway, it was a great watch last night on Max. Around this time of year, we like to pick up some different candy for the Halloween season, and our local Wegmans didn't have it, so Jesse ordered some special candy from Target, and we got that in the mail. So this is a quick candy haul. We got the Kit Kat Ghost Toast, which are crisp wafers and cinnamon toast, which will be interesting to have. Let's see, we have the Witch's Brew Kit Kats. I really wish they had those pumpkin spice Kit Kats, but
they didn't have any.
They didn't have those. This is crisp wafers and marshmallow flavored cream. This is our first candy haul, I think, on the channel.
Maybe.
We have Breaking Bones, crisp wafers and white cream. Well, that's pretty good. Now, I don't usually have these, but I see got the gummy clusters, the Nerds. A lot of glare there, so just spooky. Look at that.
The spooky
flavors. And we got some more gummy clusters. These are Berry Punch Rush.
Those are the tailgate ones.
The tailgate. Oh, you mean for football?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at that. And finally, we have the Grape Strawberry Blitz. I guess I forgot to mention that these are the these are the spooky one. I guess they're just called spooky, huh?
Yeah, because they're like probably grape and orange.
Oh, okay. These don't seem like they have as much in them, the Grape Strawberry Blitz. And then we also got these great birds. You've seen the birds on our windowsill, and these are some wintry birds that Jesse picked out. And they have these at Target, so if you
But these are the small version of the. They have
these are the these are the mini version, right?
Yeah, they have each of these in a bigger version, but I just wanted the small to get the whole set.
To get the whole thing, yeah.
I'm still thinking about Sergio Leone, and because one of the films I forgot to talk about is Once Upon a Time in the West, with a great performance from Henry Fonda and many others. Henry Fonda having a different type of character than he's played before, and Sergio Leone talking about how he waited to even reveal him in the movie. And there's so many great scenes in the movie, but it is one of my favorites, if not the favorite Sergio Leone movie for me. We didn't film that much today. We ended up going to the grocery store, but kind of randomly, I decided to check to see if the vaccines were available for the flu and COVID, and I thought I was making an appointment, and in reality, they said you could sit and wait. They said walk-ins are welcome, so I felt welcomed to be able to get the shot today. So, or the shots today, and so I decided to wait. It was only 15 minutes, and I went in and got a shot in each arm, and it's only been a couple of hours, but so we didn't really film that much today, but that's the reason why. And I guess I'll do another video tomorrow, as well as talk about more films and more things that we watched, and let you know how it went. But this is the first time I've gotten the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine at the same time. And the pharmacist recommended I do one in each arm because I thought you could do the vaccine. I think you can do the vaccine in the same arm, the two vaccines, but he said if you want to, I guess the COVID vaccine makes your arm a little more sore. But I'm not a medical practitioner, so I don't really know. But that's what happened to me, and so we didn't film a lot today. It's Wednesday, and I really haven't been feeling that good all day from the vaccines, but Jesse and I started to watch Friends, the sitcom Friends. I'm sure everyone knows that, which we've seen maybe random episodes of years ago, and we watched some together, some, separately, but we started to watch from the beginning, and it was kind of fun, right? We really enjoyed watching. We watched 10 episodes today because I wasn't feeling that great.
Yeah, it's more connected. Like the episodes are more connected than I thought.
Yeah.
Originally, so it's been fun to see like the characters develop and their relationships develop. And
it could just be because I'm feverish today a little bit, but I think we're going to continue with it. We're finishing up on Seinfeld. We have one more season of Seinfeld, I think, to go, or a little bit more of season 8, and then we have season 9. So. Friends is probably next, I guess, because we haven't watched from the beginning. We do have the DVD set too, but we're not watching the DVDs. We're just watching it on Max right now. So
yeah.
We also had a little theory, which I don't even know if this is related to me not feeling well or whatever. But I started talking about the fact that there was one episode where it seemed like maybe Monica was the primary character, and all the other friends were like in her head. She came back to the apartment or something like that, and they were all waiting for her. And then we were talking about maybe like it's only about one friend and the other people are in her head or something. I know it sounds kind of strange, but
well, because everybody hangs out at Monica's apartment.
Yeah.
And before Rachel moves in with her, which happens in the first episode, everybody's been hanging out at her apartment. So it's a little bit weird. Like there's one where Monica's like, "Oh, I'm going to bed," and they're like, "Okay, bye," and they all stay at her house.
They're all
stay in
there
her living
still,
room
yeah,
and just hang out. So it seems a little strange that like she's friends with the guys across the hall and her brother, and her friend from high school comes back, but then like there's kind of like this weird boundary where like maybe she's the only one.
Maybe Phoebe's the only one too. That was the other theory, because we were thinking, well, let's look this up and see if anyone else thinks this, or maybe this is just an interesting idea that nobody's thought of or something. But apparently Phoebe also, there's
a theory that Phoebe is homeless, and the whole show is her looking in on these people living their lives like at the coffee shop and imagining what it would be like to be part of that friend group.
Yeah. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think in the comments about that, or if you thought about that before. This is the first time I think we've both watched from the beginning and are really enjoying it. But it could just be that I was feeling feverish today. We were exploring a strange theory that we're not even sure is true or not. So, but anyway, we're enjoying that. And do we want to say anything else about that?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we're on episode 2.
I was just surprised like how easy it is to watch. Like
everything develops
in like an hour, like 3 episodes at a time or something. Because some sitcoms are fun, but you can only watch so many at once. Whereas this, I didn't expect that it would be this easy to watch. I
think also the thing that maybe surprised us a little bit, because we haven't seen it for a while, but like Ross and Rachel seem to be connected from the beginning, kind of like in The Office, where there's Jim and Pam are connected from the beginning. If you watch it from the beginning and you see that they've sort of had a little bit of a spark there at the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the romance is like budding from the very beginning instead of them being all friends and then eventually liking each other.
Yeah.
There's like these like nice moments between characters.
Yeah, between all the characters. So anyway, we're enjoying that. It's fun to move on to that series, and I wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say. So right now we watch Seinfeld like when we have lunch and dinner, and then we were watching The Walking Dead like for our afternoon watching.
Yeah.
So now we have to decide if we're gonna watch Friends for like when we eat, or if we're gonna watch Friends in our afternoon.
I think it's going to be more in the afternoon, because it feels like we could maybe do 2 or 3 episodes of it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's more bingeable, I think, to me than Seinfeld, or even Life in Pieces. I'm watching 2 or 3 episodes, at a time. But it feels more bingeable, which
Yeah, like it's more fun to watch it in like 3 episodes at a time than it would be to watch like when you watch Seinfeld. It's just like we watch one.
Yeah, one episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and this is these weekly vlogs too are sharing sort of what we're watching real time, what I'm picking up real time, what I'm interested in real time, what Jesse and I are watching and what are interested in terms of reading, physical media, movies, TV shows, and things like that. So that's really the essence of these vlogs, and kind of our, just our real life of how we're fitting these things in and what we're in the mood for. I mentioned also yesterday about my recent reoccurring fascination with Sergio Leone, and this is my copy of Once Upon a Time in the West, which I believe there's a 4K on this one, but I picked this one up years ago. I think this is my favorite Sergio Leone film. It's got a lot of extra features on it too, and I'll just hold that up so you can see some of the extra features on this. But I really like this one, and again, I think it's my favorite because of a lot of different things. Because of the opening scene, for one thing, and also for Henry Fonda playing a different character that we haven't seen, that I don't think we've seen any other films with him playing this type of character. And Sergio Leone talked about this in the documentary about introducing him later in the film and making it be kind of a mystery. And he really plays a bad character in this, or more of an evil character than some of his other film roles. But I think he does a great job at it. And this movie is great. This one also has it's got a commentary with contributions from directors John Carpenter, John Milius, and Alex Cox, films historian Sir Christopher Frayling, and Dr. Sheldon Hall, an opera of violence, The Wages of Sin, something to do with death, railroad. Anyway, there's a lot of extra features on this one. But if you don't have this, I highly recommend it if you're into Sergio Leone. Also, highly recommend the documentary on Max about his life and career. So I still need to pick up Once Upon a Time in America, and I think the Colossus of Rhodes, which I don't have. There's a Warner Archive release of that. But other than that, I have all of his films. I didn't realize he only did, I believe, 7 movies, just looking at his filmography. And so, but anyway, I love this movie. Was there anything else you want to mention in our little office segment today that you can think of?
I guess in terms of AMC Plus, we're going to skip the J-horror episode of Horror's Greatest.
Yeah.
Just because we saw the preview and it seemed like it's a little more body horror and we're not really interested in that.
Yeah.
And then we got really stalled on Dead City. So as much as we want to finish Dead City, we don't really seem to be in the mood.
I think we're going to probably finish it though. I'm not really sure, but maybe we can start one of the other series in parallel, or it's going to be a couple weeks and we'll be able to see the Daryl Dixon show, The Book of Carol. So maybe that's...
I just want to see The Ones Who Live, because I think because there was something in the first season of Daryl Dixon that Carol kind of hinted at that I feel like is connected to that.
Yeah.
So I think we might need to see The Ones Who Live before we see The Book of Carol, because she might show us things. That are connected to The Ones Who Live.
And then I think as the autumn and winter weather approaches too, I'm really seriously thinking about doing another film study. I did a film study on Tarkovsky, and I'm thinking about Aki Kaurismäki, but I'm not really sure. So let me know in the comments below too if you're interested in me doing another film study. If you have a specific director or actor that you would be interested in, and if I don't do it soon, I'll definitely keep a list and keep those things in mind. So.
When you do a film study, that means you watch the film and you take notes, right?
Yeah.
And then you make a sit-down video going into detail about the film.
Right. So I'll be making individual videos on a specific, usually I focus on a director, and I usually start from the beginning, or if there's a chronology recommended, like in the case of Tarkovsky, there was a BFI list that I used to have a watch order for the films. And so... but I think with Kaurismäki, I might just start at the beginning. I think I have most of the films, and some of them are Criterions as well. I'm also thinking, too, I'll probably do another video. There's probably a flash sale coming up pretty soon for Criterion. It usually happens in September, October. And then, of course, there's a Criterion sale, usually from Barnes & Noble in November. So, we'll be looking forward to that. We're waiting in the... Jesse's having her eyes examined today. I need my eyes examined. I already have my eyes examined.
I think that was the first vlog we did, was you got your eyes done.
I don't have a clear view because I'm going through this machine, but so far so good, right?
Yeah.
We just got back from Jesse's eye appointment. Everything went well, and your eyes are dilated, right? So you got your
Yeah.
sunglasses on inside, right?
Yeah.
But it is pretty hot here.
I can see like a book reading distance if I don't wear my glasses and wear my sunglasses. But if I put my glasses on, I can't see.
I can't see, right?
So
I just got an email from Criterion saying that they're going to take their Criterion Closet video show on the road. They built a trailer. I'm gonna put an image of the email up here so you can see what it says. But I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So I guess they're going to take that show on the road. If you're a fan of the Criterion Collection and the videos that they have on their YouTube channel, you are familiar with the Criterion Closet, where they usually have a celebrity go in there and pick some Criterion films. But now they're going to take that show on the road, which sounds pretty fun. Isn't that interesting?
yeah, are we going to be able to go see it? Like,
I mean,
where are they
I don't know if
going?
we're going to go see it. Maybe it's better for the celebrities because they don't have to go to the office. So they're just like in
yeah.
Los Angeles or whatever. Like the Criterion Closet is in Los Angeles, for a couple of days or something,
So, like,
and
they'll
people
go
can
to,
go
like,
into
Amoeba or something.
something like that. Yeah, I would assume it. Maybe it's more convenient. Maybe it's more interesting too. I mean, I would assume those shows are going to be pretty interesting to have the Criterion Closet on the road. But anyway, that sounds like a lot of fun. It is Friday the 13th. I think one of two Friday the 13ths this year, right?
Yeah,
There's only a
there's
couple.
one in December.
One in December. But we're just looking at the deals. I always look at the deals for Fandango at home, and the Friday the 13th 8-movie collection is only $13. I can't even believe it. $13. I mean, that seems like a good deal if you don't have those movies. Or even if you do have those movies. We have those all on Blu-ray, but it's probably just a deal for today since it's Friday the 13th. But, I always find it good to check Fandango at home or any digital service that you're using to see if they have these deals, because sometimes you might only be able to get a digital copy of something, or if you don't have the movies and you want to try them out before you buy the physical media, this is one way to do it. You can probably see these movies for free somewhere else too, but or with another streaming service.
I
But
think these ones move streaming service.
these ones move, yeah. But $13, I mean, I'm tempted, because then you have them always available.
That's right.
We did not film much today because it's been such a long week, and we were pretty tired for most of the day. But I did want to show, since I was showing the Friday the 13th digital collection, here's the Friday the 13th collection that I have, which is a Blu-ray collection. I know there's other versions out here, but this is really, I think you might still be able to get this on discount also. But I keep things in, I don't really keep things in alphabetical order here for this horror section, and we haven't done a horror movie tour for 2024, which we might still do on the channel. But I do keep like all of my Halloween films together, and we keep also like Stephen King adaptations together. So you can see all those down here, like Creepshow and The Dead Zone, Misery. We were just looking at Salem's Lot the other day because there's a new version of Salem's Lot, which I think is out on Max, but we were considering maybe watching this older version. You can see the old version I have on Blu-ray, which I remember seeing. This version from 1979 with David Soul, I think. So much glare here. And this is all, I'll just back up a little bit so you can see the entire horror collection that we have here. We have quite a few horror films. And of course I keep all my Jaws films together, and those are at the beginning, but I probably need to consider organizing these alphabetically. It's just, I remember this order in particular because of the way, and Jesse definitely helps me with this too. But like I have like 2 copies of Invasion of the Body Snatchers together. This is the original version and then the remake. You can see all the John Carpenter movies together. So there is a little bit of an order here. It's just an order that I prefer right now. You can see all the Psycho films together over here, zombie films. So, but maybe at some point I will do a different sorting for these. Just for right now, it seems to make some sense. So, there's all the Jaws films.